Welcome back to the Steve Champagne Radio Show. Welcome back. I Love Music Army. Everybody that loves music, first-time viewers to this channel, my goodness gracious, do we have a video for you today, because this is a subject that I've been talking about. I've been saying it was going to happen. I had no idea it was going to happen quite this soon, but apparently it did a little. So if, we go back to a few videos ago, let's get real about this since we're doing entertainment out here. Last time, as you recall, on the Steve Champagne Radio Show, Steve Champagne said this. Hey, what do you believe that music is the most valuable thing on the face of the earth? Do you remember when I said that? Because all these artists are selling their copyrights, their rights to all their music to all these publishing companies because they're really not getting paid much off the streaming services. Well, once all those artists have sold their rights, now the companies that own all the rights to music control what actually happens out in the mainstream audience. For you people out there in the mainstream music world that, sold your CDs, your records, things like that. Now, I have a few questions for you, and then I'm going to enlighten you something about what's really happening here. Okay, are you ready? Hold on to your seat, because here it comes. Sesek, I think I got that right, is how you pronounce the company that withheld all that music from YouTube and other platforms too. It's just YouTube is so popular. That's why it was such a big deal in the industry. But they got a new agreement. They got more money now for their artists, and that's great. Isn't it great? But wait, there's more. Because they're a little bitty publishing company. Yeah, they have a lot of big artists there, like the ones I previously mentioned. However, they're not BMI, they're not ASCAP. So those are the big dogs, okay? So don't you think the big dogs looked at what the little dog did, and they're going to go, maybe we should get more money, because everybody wants more money. Don't you want more money? I guarantee you, whatever you do in your life, I don't care if you're retired, more money. Give me more money, right? And, of course, everybody wants the artists to get paid more money, but a lot of them that have sold their copyrights, well, they got paid the money they want. But now the publishing companies are in control of the music. And as I previously mentioned, and I mentioned this in a way, I don't really think I got my point across, but I'm going to try to do a better job this time at getting my point across. Here's this. Does anybody remember this? When Hulu and YouTube, were out at the beginning, for no commercials, everything's good. Then all of a sudden Hulu says, hey, give us a couple bucks. We won't show you any commercials. Now it's like $8 on Hulu, $10 to get the service, plus an additional $6 if you don't want any commercials or something like that. And these platforms are going to this. YouTube used to show no commercials. Then they started showing one commercial. Now it's two commercials. Sometimes it's non-skippable commercials. But it's getting worse and worse and worse. And that's because they have to pay the rights for all the stuff that they're playing out there when it comes to copyrighted material. Now, what does this mean for the consumer and you out there? Well, if you were like a lot of people, you just got tired of having crates and crates and crates of records and CDs strewn out everywhere, so you sold them. Because if you haven't noticed, there's signs up everywhere. You see it on all the social media pages. I buy albums. I'll buy your CDs. I'll buy this. I'll buy this. Because if BMI, ASCAP, and other big publishing companies decide to crank up their rates and the streaming services say, well, we can't do that because we're going to lose money because we're only charging the customer this much money, then, those songs are all going to get yanked from the streaming services. And once that happens, you won't be able to listen to those artists anymore. Well, so many people sold their records or CDs. I know a lot of you didn't, and I've heard in the comment section on my video that I made about this subject, did not, and that's cool. That's cool. But for those that did, okay, what does this mean for you? Well, it means that you better go back to the used record store, or hopefully you got a lot of stuff that you bought off iTunes and things like that, because they will be in control, the publishing companies, and they're going to pass those costs on to the consumer, where you might pay $9 or $10 for Spotify, or some radio station or whatever, Sirius XM or whatever to get 5 billion stations. Now they're going to crank it to 15 and then 20 and then 30 and then 40. And now you'll be like, hey, you know what? I'm not going to pay for this anymore. Just like people decided they didn't want to pay for cable TV anymore because it got so expensive. I'm going to go back to regular radio where it's just free. And now you're going to be stuck with the radio stations playing what they want instead of getting what you want. So there's a whole mountain of stuff that's going on with all these artists selling all these rights, and the publishing companies control the most valuable thing on the face of the earth. And then there's even one more thing that I want to throw this it's not, I don't know if it's a question or a statement. You decide on this. You see, there's only 12 notes. That's all there is. Okay, and we know some notes don't go with other notes, but I'm sure somebody can figure out a melody for it. But if you write a song, and, you might not know that it sounds like this other song. You might not. I mean, you don't know every song ever made, right? Okay, well, with these algorithms and stuff, you got this original song, you post it, and if it gets success, then the algorithms kick in, and then the copyright people are notified that it sounds something like this other artist, and then they come out, if the song gets popular, that is. Because if the song doesn't get popular, then they're not going to mess with you. But if it gets popular and starts making money, they're going to be like, hey, you know what? We want a little bit of this because this song sounds like this. I mean, if John Fogerty can be sued for sounding like himself, that means you can be sued just as easily. And I know this sounds crazy, wild, mad, and I'm not trying to be a naysayer or a negative person out here. I'm trying to be positive. Really, I am. Because I believe that music is the most valuable thing on the face of the earth. And I believe the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s is stuff that's going to be played forever and ever, provided you're willing to pay for it if you don't own your music. So my advice to you is, if you haven't gotten rid of your albums, CDs, et cetera, at least put them digitally somewhere. That way you can play it in your car and things like that. Somehow get it transferred. There's programs and things you can use. But if you sold all that stuff, well, you may well think about going back to the used record store, because haven't you noticed people are wanting to buy those albums again? They're wanting to get all this stuff. It's making a big comeback. You see it all the time on social media. Albums for sale, this for sale. We'll sell you this one record, some popular album in great condition for a lot of money. So this whole publishing company thing is definitely going to be the end of free streaming music, unless you're willing to sit through a ton of commercials or pay the commercialless fee. It's going to happen, and it's sad, but we might be going back to the radio days. However, the Steve Champagne radio show has another option for you. I have an opportunity. And for those people that made it through this video this long, I can't wait to hear what you have to say about this. I have an opportunity to get on the internet radio airwaves, a free service for you, and create a rock and roll radio show every week where I play music, maybe do some trivia, things like that. Would any of you out there listen to it? That's what I want to know. Drop that in the comments section. What do you think about possible, higher fees? How much would you pay, for the music? Let me know everything. I read every single comment. I can't wait to hear what you have to say. Right now, from the Steve Champagne Radio Show, the I Love Music Army, we bid you farewell. We got to pay a few bills out here in Studio One. Man, oh man, oh man. I'm excited. I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say. Until next time, peace, love. We are out of here. God bless all of you.